couple of days since Emily's mishap with Annie and Clarabelle, but Thomas and all the other engines had forgiven her. Well, nearly all of them. "Disgraceful," said Gordon to the other engines in the shed. "Taking Thomas's coaches indeed. Engines don't steal each other's trains. She'll want to steal my express next." The other engines tried to stop him, but Gordon wouldn't listen. Emily sat on a siding next to the sheds. She was trying not to look upset. "But what do you expect from a Sterling single?" he continued. "Look at her. Only 2 driving wheels. Old-fashioned she is. No wonder big express engines like me replaced her. I have 6 driving wheels and never struggle with my trains." "Rubbish," shouted James. "How many times has Edward helped you over your hill?" "I allow Edward to help me. He's earned my respect. Unlike Emily here, you'll never catch me asking a single engine for help." Thankfully, Gordon's driver and fireman came and took Gordon off to work. Edward and Boko spoke kindly to Emily. "Take no notice," Edward said. "He's just jealous of all the attention you've been getting." "Besides, I believe in karma," said Boko. "He'll get what's coming to him, you'll see." "Why don't you come and help on my line today?" suggested Edward. "There's a lot of goods trains you can help with." The Fat Control agreed, and Emily started by double-heading a goods train with Edward to Brendam Docks. After that, they spent the rest of the morning delivering goods trains up and down Edward's branch line, while Boko took care of the passengers. By lunchtime, they nearly completed all the goods work. Just one train left. Edward shunted the train together in Wellsworth Yard. "Would you like some help?" asked Emily. "No thanks," Edward replied. "I can handle this, but if you want, you can shunt the trucks here while I'm gone." "Of course I'll help," said Emily. So Edward took the train to the docks, and Emily shunted trucks in the yard. After she finished, Emily puffed to the water tower for a drink. While her tender was filling up, she heard a noise that sounded like roaring thunder and a loud whistle. "Make way for the express!" It was Gordon thundering through Wellsworth with his express, the Wild Nor'Wester. Emily watched as Gordon passed with 5 coaches. "It looks like a heavy train to me," said Emily's driver. "If he makes it over the hill without help, I'll eat my hat." Meanwhile, Gordon began his approach to his hill. He really didn't want to get stuck this time. "After what I said this morning, I can't afford to stop," Gordon said to himself, and he charged up the hill. Gordon puffed with all his strength, but the coaches were too heavy. Gordon stopped halfway up the hill. "Bother," said Gordon. "James won't let me hear the end of this." "There's only one thing we can do," said Gordon's driver. "We're going to need some help." So they backed Gordon down to the bottom of the hill and stopped next to the signal box. The signaller then phoned Wellsworth Station for help. The station master then went to Emily and her crew. "Gordon's stuck on his hill. We need a banking engine." "Looks like your hat is safe," joked the fireman. "Edward and Boko are down the branch line," said the station master. "Can you give Gordon a push, please?" Emily didn't really want to, but she knew better than to leave passengers abandoned. So she went to find Gordon. They found Gordon still at the signal box at the bottom of the hill. He was very cross. "Not that Sterling single," huffed Gordon. "She'll never be able to push me up the hill." Emily decided to ignore him and buffered up behind Gordon. Then she pushed with all her might, but Gordon didn't move. "Is that the best you can do?" Gordon snorted. "They should have sent a proper engine." Emily pushed harder and harder. Suddenly, Gordon's wheels started to move. Emily kept pushing. Gordon was speechless as they moved slowly up the hill. Suddenly, James appeared from the top of the hill. He saw everything. "Good work, Emily," James called as he passed. Emily huffed and puffed and puffed, but at last, Gordon was at the top of the hill. Gordon was still speechless as he sped down the other side. He didn't say a word for the rest of "I've done it!" cried Emily excitedly, and went back to Wellsworth. That night, Sir Topham Hatt came to see Emily in the sheds. "A fine day's work," he said. "Not only in goods train work, but rescuing Gordon. You're just the engine needed on Edward's branch line." "Oh, thank you, sir," said Emily. Now she works on the Wellsworth branch line with Edward and Beauclerk. She helps with both the passenger trains and goods trains. The three of them have become best friends and a great team. And as for Gordon, he was sent to Tidmouth Sheds and told to stay there until he was wanted. But that night, all he heard was James and Henry talking to each other. "Fancy having to be rescued by an old-fashioned engine," teased James. "You must be mistaken," joked Henry. "You'll never catch Gordon asking a single engine for help." Gordon thought they were being silly, but if you ask me, I don't think he'll be rude to Emily again.